Before the signing ceremony, Cocobod organized for the delegation from the international banks to visit the Cocoa Research Institute of Ghana, TAFO, to find out the important role research has played in assisting Ghana to maintain quality and high-yielding cocoa beans over the years. The delegation was led by two of the Deputy Chief Executives of Cocobod, Mr. William Mensah, Head of Finance and Administration, and Mr. Tony Fofie, Head of Agronomy and Quality Control. En route to Creek, the delegation made a whistle stop at the late Tetekwashi's cocoa farm in Mampong, Ikuapem, where they were briefed on the history of cocoa in Ghana and showed the original cocoa tree planted by Tetekwashi in 1879.
Sign up.
On arrival at Creek, the delegation was met by the Executive Director Dr. Edu Ampoma and his Deputy Director Dr. Franklin Menu Amwa. Dr. Ampoma gave a brief background on the activities of Creek.
You are all welcome to the Cocoa Research Institute of Ghana. This institute is basically to do scientific research to support cocoa production in Ghana. Actually, we don't only work on cocoa, we work also on coffee, cola, cashew, and shea. As we go around, you might have the opportunity to maybe see some of these crops as we go along. But as I said, basically we are doing research to support the production of these crops in the country. This institute was established 70 years ago in 1938. We have scientific disciplines that are supporting the research programs here. We have agronomists. That's a division that looks at the agronomic problems associated with cocoa cultivation. We have and other crops, the mandated crops. We have the plant breeding and genetics division that develops varieties for the farmers to plant. We have the soils unit that looks at the problems associated with soils as far as cocoa is being cultivated. We also have the entomology division, which looks at the pests, the insects that attack cocoa and the other crops that we work on. We also have the pathology division that deals with disease problems affecting the crops that we deal with. Then we also have the physiology and biochemistry division, looking at the physiological implications of cocoa cultivation, the biochemistry of cocoa, the fermentation processes, the factors affecting cocoa fermentation, and how to produce quality cocoa in terms of after harvesting or post-harvesting processing. We also have a social science unit which looks at the sociological implications of cocoa cultivation. It comes to worst forms of farm practices, including child labor, problems associated with them. We look into this. We have a statistics unit that looks at the design and collection of data, analysis of data in experiments. We also have one important unit, which is the new products unit. What it does is to process or find ways of making good use of the waste of the products. So for example, when you look at cocoa, after taking the beans, the waste is being thrown away. So there's research into how to convert this into useful purpose such that the farmer can also gain some money from it. Basically, we have these divisions supporting us, but then we also have support services. That is the general administration, the control of the maintenance of roads and facilities here. We have research. We also have substations, about 3 substations. One up north dealing with the cashew and shea, one also dealing with cola and coffee, and one also quite close here dealing with cocoa and all other things. We basically have about 60 plus scientists, most of them with PhD in the disciplines that I mentioned, and they are supporting research here. Aside from that, we also have recreational facilities, golf course, a nice golf course. You see a golf course, a clubhouse, swimming pool, catering facilities, rest houses, so that if you come and you want to rest, and yeah, if you want to rest, yeah, you pay economic rate. So these facilities are there not only to support research, but also to generate funds to support research. So that is why we have all this. So ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome to the Cocoa Research Institute of Ghana, the oldest institute, the oldest research institution in Ghana. This is just to give you just a brief summary of things we do here. I think the scientists are not around, but basically to develop a variety, these are various types of cocoa. I'm sure this is the normal cocoa we all see, but these are all growing wild in the Amazon jungle, in the forest, but they are all relatives of Brahma cacao, and they are here because they have some traits or some characters that we intend to put into the cocoa here, so that, for example, resistance to diseases and pests, and also for maybe flavor and high butter content and other things. That's why they are here. I mentioned cola. This is one of the crops that we work on. This cola is used as I think a stimulant. They chew it, but I've been told that the original recipe for cocoa is coming from cola. We deal with coffee as well. This is coffee. Normally, there are two main types of coffee. That is Arabica and Robusta. But Arabica, you need 1,000 meters above. Here is low, so we produce Robusta, which in the world market is not very expensive though, but it's used for instant coffee. Yeah, but what we have done is to try to combine the two, cross them and develop varieties that will have traits of both together. It's not easy. It's just like trying to cross a sheep and a goat. They have different, This is a cashew plant. It's young. You might not see it. We have on display here some of the things we do here. I don't think we can go through them, but this is a forum of, once we finish our research, it should get to the farmer. So here is a forum where researchers and farmers are discussing problems and issues and how to solve them. Once a variety is developed, we need to multiply them and give them to farmers. So this is demonstrating how they do the multiplication, and this is a typical area where they are producing pulse to supply to farmers to plant, so the variety goes to the farmer. We do the same with the other crops. This is what normally the farmers do. They heap the beans there. Every 2 days they come and stir for the bacteria to do the fermentation and more efficiently. But there are other methods the researchers are also trying to develop to assist. Sometimes if it's not done well, then you have all sorts of problems, especially what is known as purple beans. So they've done a lot of work trying to ensure that the fermentation is properly done. And as I showed you, once it's done, they have discussions with the farmers to know where the problem is and to address the issue. I mentioned some problems, diseases and pests. These are some of the pests that cause havoc to the plant. You look at that farm there, it has been devastated by insects. So research should go on to address the issue. There is a very serious disease caused by a virus. It's called cocoa swelling shoot virus. We have been trying to develop varieties that are resistant to this.
This is a new product development unit. What we do is that we take the byproducts of cocoa, coffee, cashew, and all the other mandated crops and try to see whether we can come out with useful products out of them. For cocoa, for instance, we'll be able to actually get the wine, the gin, and then the brandy out of the sweatings, that is the liquid that drains from the cocoa. And also the same sweatings, we'll be able to come out with vinegar as well as the cocoa jam. And then for cashew, we'll use the cashew pulp juice to manufacture the mabigo jam, which is the cashew jam. And we also use the nuts, which we just roast and then package as cashew nuts. And also from the same cocoa, actually we use the cocoa beans, the spoiled beans or the germinated beans, the beans that we cannot actually export. We've been able to extract butter out of it. And we use the butter for the toilet soap. And we also use the butter for the pomade. And we have different sizes. We have the large size and then the small size. And then for the same cocoa, we use the cocoa pod, the dry cover. Actually, we dry it, extract the alkaline medium, which is sodium hydroxide or sodium carbonate, and we use it as the alkaline medium for the saponification, for the production of soft soap. And this is the soft soap. And this is the alkaline medium, the potash, which we extract and use for the soap production. So we use this in addition to the cocoa butter to produce the liquid, the soft soap. So this is what we actually do at the New Products Development Unit.
My name is Dagmar, I'm from DZ Bank. It's my first time in Africa, in Ghana, and it was a very interesting day for me. You know what was most impressive? To see the cocoa fruit, and not just in pictures.
Hello, I'm Pamela Green. I'm from Standard Chartered Bank, and this is my second trip to the Research Institute. I've had a long and happy association with Ghana, and particularly with Ghana Cocobod, and I've been involved in funding them since 1996, and I'm so pleased to be back here.
I'm Craig Polkinghorn. I'm from Standard Bank. I'm based in Johannesburg, and we wish the Ghana Cocobod all the best for this transaction and for their future transactions. It has become a landmark transaction in Africa, and one which all the banks would like to participate in. And for Standard Bank as an African bank, we're very proud to be back and part of the syndicate. Thank you.
Has your tour around the farms and research center added any more confidence to already that you have for Cocobod in order to ensure meeting up the payment terms of the finance?
I think it changes the perception that this is a purely financial transaction that gets dealt in the credit boardroom of a bank to something you can touch and feel. You can see the product, you can see the research that goes into it. For me, I come from a farming background, so I understand the effect of entomology research, seed research, propagation techniques, soil analysis, etc. And that allows, I think gives more credibility to the agricultural practices in Ghana, that money and application and intellectual skills are being applied to the farming processes.
Okay, I'm Seketu Mokhetle, Global Head of Structured Trade and Commodity Finance, Nedbank Capital. We're based in South Africa, although the Trade and Commodity Finance team is split into 3 business units, 2 of them in London, 1 in South Africa. This transaction has been the result of participation from our Johannesburg office, and we're proud to be associated with the Cocobod. This is our second time we are in the Cocobod financing, and we're looking forward to many years of association with the Cocobod.